I tried to did something a little different. Let me know if you guys could see me. You can send in super chats. You could, what's up? What's up? Anybody out there? Somebody say, yeah, I could see you. Welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy. So, anybody out there can hear me, see me, write a comment, see if I could hear it. I mean, read it. But watch the fights this weekend. Anybody watch the fights this weekend? Crawford versus Spence. What a great fight, guys. Somebody write a comment. There you go. Thank you. I guess I was doing it. El Cholo, saludas, loco. What's up, El Cholo? So, hey, guys, I come on here to raise money for my third man in the ring. So I need super chats, guys. With that said, what a crazy weekend. God is good. My son Adrian, the boxer, he got baptized today, and I give all glory to God. You know, out of all seven of my kids, he's kind of like my roughneck, and that's not to brag or say that he's a badass. It just he tends to live on the edge, and I thank God he's trying to serve God, and he's fighting on August 26th in Texas, as far as right now. But yeah, masterclass beating. Crawford showed the level of fighting he is. Yes, I El Chinito BXN. Yes, I called that fight perfectly. I said he's not going to knock him out. He's going to overwhelm him so much. The referee's going to stop it, and he did. Uh, Crawford is just a technician. And and this is why I say Crawford is an A+ fighter, and Spence was an A fighter. Happy birthday! Yes, it was my birthday. Thank you. Uh, what is El Cholo or El Cheeto? BXN. Yes, thank you. Yeah, my wife threw a little birthday party for a fight party at my brother Rummy's house, and I really appreciate it. But hey, guys, send in those super chats. Again, did you guys see I have new shirts for Third Man in the Ring? If you want to buy them or purchase them, go to thirdmaninthering.bigcartel.com and you could order them there. Crawford is definitely pound for pound. Perry Ochoa, yes. Saludos, Popeye and Raza. Buenos dias. Pitbull Cruz got the win. Yes, he did. Sinaloa 760. The guy he fought, I don't know what he was thinking. He wasn't throwing hands. He wasn't. He wasn't. I don't know. That guy just made the fight ugly and boring. Cubo Crawford gonna come after Mel Charo belts. He probably is. Yeah, he probably is. With that said, send in those super chats, guys. Send in those super chats, man. Good evening, Ref. Angel Rodriguez. Good evening, brother. Andre Rodriguez. Little Melo El Monte San Gabriel. Yes, ship shirts on Friday. Thank you. Yeah, you know what, guys? It costs a lot to ship out those t-shirts, man. $6 a pop, and if there's two, that's like $10, man. So I'm gonna do it on every Friday. I'm gonna ship out, so it might take a week to get there, but I appreciate it. And again, this is how I'm trying to raise money for my podcast. What'd you guys think of the Robert Garcia interview? That was pretty good. And I interviewed this past Friday Mikey Garcia. With that said, send in those super chats, guys. This is why I get on live. But yes, that was a great fight card. I called it perfectly. Um, and some people even called me and said, "You think it was an early stop?" I mean, what do you want? A beating? You want him to beat him to death? Mel Charo is fighting for Canelo next. I assume vacating. He'll be vacated or be forced to be extinction bodies. William Frankenstein. Um, yeah, that's the politics of boxing. That was a good interview. Thank you, TTZ. Please, guys, send in some super chats. This is how I raise my money for my podcast. And On the 3rd, I go up to San Diego this 3rd to go interview uh, Chris Lieben, the MMA fighter, redhead. Remember him, Chris Lieben. So that's gonna be hopefully a good interview. This past Friday, I interviewed Mikey Garcia, and that was a good one, man. But yeah, guys, can you please send in some super chats? Jay Cardinalito Carrillo, I'm sorry, Jay Carrillo, great interview. Thank you. Send in those super chats, guys. So today was a good day because my son Adrian, the fighter, out of all 7 of my kids, he's got he's always living on the edge, and I get nervous, but he's trying to serve God, and he got baptized today, guys. Baptized at Calvary Chapel, Chino Valley, by my pastor too. That was awesome. Night Owl, when are you releasing the Mikey interview? In not this Friday, but next Friday. So every 2 weeks I release an interview. So hopefully you guys will like that one. That was good. Mikey, very funny, I mean, great fighter. And he made a prediction on this fight as well. So I just passed. But send in those super chats, guys. I need those super chats. Come on, somebody start it off, man. So I can we can get this podcast going. And then I got Emilio Rivera, the actor, finally. Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Gary. See, there you go. Thank you. Appreciate it. Tap the heart. Oh, thank you. See, Gary kicked it off. Thank you, Gary. Gary, my homeboy. Eh? What am I thinking now? All right, yeah. Thank you, Gary. Gracias, homie. But come on, guys, follow the leader, man. I'm trying to make some fed out here to. But right now, I'm going live in my car because they gave me some messed up, ugly hours, Sunday through Thursday, and I work graveyard, so I go clock in at probably around 5, so I'm gonna get off around 4:40. But thank you, Gilroy. Come on, follow the leader. Send in some super chats, guys. William Frankenstein, what was your first world title fight? Um, Donaire. My first title fight, God, was like 12 years ago. I did. Who's the Armenian little guy? Oh, I forget his name. I did him at the Pachanga. That was my first world title fight. I got 17 world title fights right now. And since you brought that up, they were complaining about Tom Taylor doing the pit bull fight. I thought he did an awesome job, man. I thought he did an awesome job. Blink, Blaze, Blazing 50. What do you think about the Imoya fight versus Fontaine? You think he's legit? I think he's legit, bro. I mean, sometimes fighters get in there and they just have a great day, just like us. Sometimes we go to work and things ain't just clicking right, or we go to the gym and it's just not feeling it. And then some days we just feel on fire. And yeah, that's my opinion on that, brother. Unadapted. Darchinian, yes. Yes, that was my first world title fight. Thank you. Thank you. Unadapted. Thank you. Darchinian, yes, I did his fight, I think 7 years ago. Do you it's fair to accuse Hanoi of steroid accusation? You know what? They test before a fight, and if it was a title fight, I forget if it was a title fight, it was a mandatory test. And they test for enhanced drugs. Some states aren't testing for marijuana anymore. California still does. But if it's a title fight, you're gonna get tested, bro. And if it's not a title fight, it's a random. It's a pick of the draw, at least in California. Send in those super chats, guys. Come on, man. I need that. That's why I'm going live right here in my car in 96-degree heat. I do have the air conditioning on, but again, guys, I had a great weekend, and let's talk about anything and everything. And I'm gonna be honest right now, guys. I had a rough day. Me and the wife. I adore her. I love her. She's my best friend, and we just were bumping heads today. And if she's watching, I just want to tell her I love you, babes. That's all I can say is I love you, and I'm gonna try to make you happy. And I love you. Unadapted in Japan, they don't allow sticking, stacking. I'm sorry. They accuse him of going tap on top of tap on his raps. Oh, okay. Well, if that's true, then that commission has to fine them, or, But in California, that's why we have inspectors there at all times. Night Owl, can you put the link for your shirts on your Instagram? It is, brother. Night Owl, go to Ref Popeye Ray and push on the link right there below my biography. Push on the link and everything comes up. Night Owl, push on the link. I'm Gonzalez. What's up, Bessa M. Gonzalez? What's up, Holmes? Send in those super chats, guys. Send in those super chats, man. I need them. Um, Gary did me good and gave me a super chat. But again, guys, we had a great weekend of fights. You a fan of Conor McGregor? You think he's the best to represent boxing in UFC? I'm a fan of Conor McGregor. I'm a fan of any fighter, bro. I love boxing. I love MMA. I like Nick Diaz. I think they box well as far as MMA. That's my thing is boxing. I like hands. So with that said, if you're an MMA fighter and you tend to be more hands than anything, that's very I love that. Yeah. JC Musica. Hey brother, I'm Cruises. I'm Cruises. Did you ever play handball? Hardball. You know what, JC Musica? I wasn't a good handball player. When I was busted in the joint, I was the guy that I hit the ball and he'd go on the roof. They tell me, Popeye, sit this one out, homie. But yeah, my Canad was a Folsom 3 years in a row champion. Yeah, my brother Peter, 35 years straight, man. He's out now doing well. Unadapted. Hey, Popeye, sorry to hear about the issues with your old lady. You know nothing good ever comes easy. Didn't you say your son just got baptized? It's just a test, brother. Thank you, Unadapted. You're right. You know, when things are going good, it's not always the devil. Sometimes God wants to see where your faith is at, see where your heart is at, and He'll allow things to come up in your marriage. I love my wife, man. She's my best friend. She's drop dead gorgeous, but sometimes we just bump heads, and I'm not one to really argue. And she just, and I love you, baby doll. If you're watching, and tomorrow's a new day, I'm gonna be the best husband I can be tomorrow. William Frankenstein, thoughts on James Tony? I'm working on him. I'm working on James Tony. He doesn't answer his phone, man. He gave me his personal phone number. Blazing. Alex, welcome to Spark Channel. Thank you, Alex. Welcome to support the channel. Thank you. Is that a super chat? Anyways, do you think about Conor McGregor ability to put Nate Diaz down multiple times in the first round? Joe Rogan, who was commentating, didn't even acknowledge the amount of time he dropped Nate. You know what? They're human, brother. They're human. And Joe Rogan is a good guy. I know him, not personally, but I do know him. It's commentators are commentators. Just like I asked you guys, what do you think about instant replay in MMA and boxing? And some want it, some don't. Some like the human era, some like the human element. You know what I mean? If we start having instant replay, one fan says, "Well, what next?" Now we're gonna have computerized point system, computerized, the fights, and you know what I mean? Are you a boxer or do you like brawling? And that's why it's different, bro. But yeah, guys, send in those super chats, please. Send in those super chats. Welcome to support the channel. Thank you, thank you. So yeah, my son got baptized today, Adrian, and I think give all glory to God for that. But yeah, I came to work a little down, But like brother said, it's a test. It's a test. Pachero Martinez, saludas de El Chuco, Texas. What's up, homie? Alex Cervantes, Cubo Corona. Behind every Superman, there's a Superwoman. Cervantes from the gym. Much love. Yeah, she is my superwoman. Somebody told me stop get upset with your wife, then they don't care no more. So I'm gonna take that. It's not fun. And bumping heads with your wife is not fun. I'm not the type to just let it roll off my shoulder. When I have a bad day with my wife, I come to work and I'm just quiet. Some of you guys seen when I went to Bangkok, Thailand, I was real depressed because I didn't have my wife. Remember the brother? Remember Brandon Reeps? Remember Brandon Reeps Mike Alvarado Wars? Yes, yes, I do. Blazing 50, Blazink 50. There you go, Blazink 50. Yes, I remember Brandon and Mike Alvarado. Yeah, I'm gonna try to interview Brandon Rios. Yeah, he lives in Oxnard, and this is why I need the super chats, guys, because I gotta go pay for my. So I'm telling you why I need the money. I'm telling you, I hired professional podcast people, and so I travel, so I got to pay for their fuel, their fee, and I got to feed them. And this is why I made the shirts to raise money. And I don't want to become famous on TikTok or Instagram or YouTube. I want to become popular. I want Third Man in the Ring to become popular. I want to be Joe Rogan, the Chicano Joe Rogan. This is why I want to talk about everything. But as far as being famous, I'm not looking for that, guys. I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for, I want to have like a talk show that's going to be popular. Always on a Christian base. My biggest pet peeve is cussing. I'm not a cusser. To me, it just shows ignorance. And mind you, when I get angry, I cuss like the next guy and I ask for forgiveness. But that's my game plan is God willing, if I'm going to pray about it, if he says, I'm going to ask God, give me the strength, the wisdom to do to make this Third Man in the Ring a popular talk thing. But as far as famous, I'm not looking to be famous, bro. Because you got to be careful. You become famous, bro. There's a lot of ugliness in that, and I don't want that. And just like I pray to be a better father, a better husband, a better dad, a better grandpa. The way you had the setup with Robert Garcia was real nice. And you know what? I got blessed because that's my podcast's studio. But not too many people are going to drive out, wait to Corona, to the city of Corona to do an interview. And I don't pay my people that I interview. That's why I travel. When I'm going to Emilio Rivera, the actor, I'm going to his house. When I'm going to interview Dr. Wallace, the the major doctor that does all the big fights, I'm going to his office. That's way in downtown LA. So this is why I need the super chats, guys. Please send in those super chats. I need it. But again, guys, let's talk about real life things. Again, help this podcast to become, the Chicano Joe Rogan or boxing or MMA or just life in general, our walk with God. Let me tell you a personal story. I'm not a killer. Boys home, youth authority, boys home, county camp, youth authority, prison. I'm not a killer. I was always a fighter and not even that good of a fighter. Looking back at 6 years old now, I can honestly say it wasn't that I was such a good fighter. It's just my willingness to fight. Well, some of you guys know I've been in the union since 1994. There's a lot of ugly politics. I actually worked for the union 7 years straight for the International, and there's a lot of ugly politics. My brother Romero ran against Local 63, my local, ran against the Secretary Treasurer, and it got so ugly that they start attacking us personally, and they attack my son on the internet. Anyways, Quiero Canal Saludas to Santa Ana, California, Salvador Park. Hey, brother, what kind of job do you do? Do you graveyard? It's a tough, crappy, he didn't say crappy. My respect, bro. Yes, yes, I have graveyard. I like graveyard though, but just not on Sunday. So Gary Ray, explain to your audience, no, the super chat works because I didn't know until I looked it up on YouTube. It's a button. right, you touch on the money sign and donate to your podcast. So Gary says that some of you don't know what a super chat is. He says go on YouTube and you look on it on YouTube. It's a button, right? It's a button on the right. You touch it on the money sign and donate your pod to my podcast. So if you guys want to do that, there's obviously a money sign on the side, and you touch it and you can donate to the podcast. Do you think Inoy can beat Tank? I can't speak like that, bro, because if I get that fight, somebody will say I was being biased. Which other refs do you want to get on the podcast? Doc, Harvey Doc, the one that did the main event this weekend. There's a few referees I want to get on. You know, I'm gonna get some MMA refs, Michael Bell. So let me tell you the story. This goes to show that I'm not a perfect Christian, which none of us are. These people that were attacking my son on the internet, I seen one of them Friday. And where I grew up in Bassett, San Gabriel Valley, I was always raised by my brothers. If somebody disrespects you, you got to disrespect them back. And that's with these. With that said, I seen them. My first reaction, I didn't hesitate. And that's not being brag. I didn't hesitate because that's the way I was raised. You got to throw first punch. But as a Christian, I didn't hit him, but I did call him out. I told him, let's go to the parking lot, let's handle this like men. And he didn't want to go. And you know what? Honestly, I thank God. I'm in great shape. I spar once a year. Once a year. Uh, I'm not the baddest dude in the world. I know there's 1,001 guys tougher than me out there, but I will fight. And thank God he didn't come out. You know, I said what I had to say. He said he wasn't part of it. I still said what I had to say. And you know what? Next time I see him, I might ask him for forgiveness because as a Christian, I should have handled it different. Do you think Inoy can beat our Tank? Can beat Tank? I can't speak on that, Blinks, because again, if I uh, if I get that fight, somebody will say, "Oh, well, you said this and you called the fight that." So I can only speak on past fights, but again, that's my little testimony. That was my struggle. So yeah, with that said, guys, please send in those super chats. Come on, man, push that little button on the right, like Gary Gilroy said, and send in some donation. But yeah, right now I clock in at 5 o'clock, and I gotta go into this yard goat and move trailers around in 96-degree heat. In the goat, it will be at least 10 degrees hotter because of the engine heat. Oh my God, that's gonna kill me, bro. And that's where I need prayer. That's where I need to say, I gotta do it. You know, a man that doesn't work doesn't get blessed. I can't be lazy. So please send in those super chats, guys. Remember, I have shirts, ladies' t-shirts now, slingshots. Go to thirdmaninthering.bigcartel.com. Somebody said, "Oh, you're supposed to be a Christian. You called your thing Big Cartel." That's the name of the company, bro. That's the name of the company, Big Cartel. So go thirdmaninthering.bigcartel.com and my shirts will show up. So yeah, send in those super chats, guys. Need those super chats, man. Thank you, Gary, for Gary's my homeboy. He's from my neighborhood, but thank you, brother. And yeah, guys, tell people that we're on right now. I'm on, and I only got 11 people on, but tell me how I can make this more interesting. Do you like guys like talking about God? I love I love being a Christian. I mean, I have rough days, and today was definitely a rough day. But God showed me that He's still hearing me because my son out of left field said, "Hey, Dad, I'm getting baptized today," and I'm like, "Whoa, God is good, man. God is good." And my wife went to go support him, but I had to be here. You know, I can't be missing work. So, um, send in those super chats, guys. So yeah, from 11 to 13 people are on. So thank you, man. What do you guys want to talk about? Tell me what you want to talk about. Um, hey, Karnal, so how long have you been married? What's the secret for being together for a long time? You have a nice family. JC Musica. I've been married to my wife 26 years, bro. My secret, because I wasn't a Christian when I married her, but I've been a Christian almost 16 years now. Still haven't arrived, but my opinion is you gotta forgive, guys. You gotta forgive. You gotta be the best man you want. You know what? After God, her happiness is solely my first thing is to make sure she's happy. Now, mind you, women are very emotional, and that's what I'm still struggling with. Sometimes I feel like I just can't do nothing right. But at the end of the day, she always tells me she loves me. At the end of the day, she's always looking out for me, even when it bugs the hell out of me. And you know what? She's always on her looks. I'm grateful for that because after 26 years, little things can annoy you. I mean, stupid things can annoy you. But I'm not going to tell my wife's personal business, but here's one of them. My wife has allergies, so she must sneeze like, I'm not exaggerating, 50 to 70 times a day. And I just, I let it go. But if I'm chewing gum or I got my trail mix, she gets like, what, really? You got to be so loud? But that's marriage, bro. But if you guys can't forgive each other, then it's never going to work. And you could always say, well, I'll just move on and get another ruka. Really? And that's your life going to be up and down, up and down, up and down. And you know what? Whatever bad mañas you have, you're going to take it to the next relationship. But today was a hard day. And I still told her I loved her. And she looked at me with me. Women are very prideful, very prideful. And I think they were, because of Adam and Eve, I think that's what they were punished with. So with that said, you got to forgive each other. You got to try to, after God, again, she is my soul. I love her, you know, and I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but I know today I'm going to end the day by telling her I love her and go to work. I mean, I'm here now, and God willing, tomorrow will be a better day. So yeah, that's my answer. But you got to keep God at the center of your marriage, because if not, it's going to be your way or her way, and that's never going to work. Mind you, I know some couples that been longer married than me than that aren't Christians, don't profess to be Christians, and they're still married. You know what I mean? They're still married, but for me, that's my best advice: is you got to serve God. You got to have God at the center of your marriage. You know, Victor Senior, good for you, brother. So hey, guys, send in those super chats, man. Super chats. I got 40 minutes more, guys. I need those super chats, guys. Remember, push that money sign right there on the right. That's what Gary said. It's on the right. Needed to hear this today, OG. Tell me, why'd you need to hear it, Miguel Cortez? Are you all right, homie? I mean, if I could pray for any of you guys, please let me know, man. Is your home church Pastor Art Reyes? No, bro. Joe Carrillo. I might go to Calvary Chapel, Chino Valley, not Chino Hills, Chino Valley. My pastor is David Rosales. Have you met Urbano Antian? Yes, I have. Blazing 50. Have you met Urbano Antian? Yes, I have. I have met him, brother. So yeah, guys, send in those super chats, please. Uh, so yeah, that's what worked for me in a marriage, bro. And again, you know, there's this little thing on Instagram. It's like a priest is talking on a court. Let me see what this says. Unadapted, unadapted. All the viruses, forgivenesses seem to be the most difficult to attend. I truly believe it can be realized to its fullest potential without Christianity. Okay, okay, that's you, bro. You know, I respect yours. Please respect mine. You know, put it this way. On that, in my first marriage, it was my way or nothing. And for 12 years, she lived in hell because it was my way or the highway. And you know what? One day, as God is my witness, like that, she walked up to me and says, I don't love you no more. And even though I disrespected her and was very abusive and very unfaithful, she's like, what? You don't love me? Like, oh, stop it. That's why when I got remarried, I told myself, I'm going to be faithful. I will never put my hands on a woman. And I'm going to try to be the best husband I can be with God. And you know what? It's still hard, but I've never hit my wife. I've never raised a hand to her. I've never been unfaithful in 26 years. And thank God she's dropped dead gorgeous because visually, in my opinion, you might think she's ugly, but in my opinion, when they take care of themselves, it's just that much easier. But I respect your opinion. Much love. Gracias, Cortez. Thank you. You said you were from neighborhood. Do you have any tattoos of your gang? Do you regret it? Have them on your body? JC Musca. I'm all inked up, bro. My whole chest, my back, my arms, my legs. I'm from Base Grande. I'm not an active member. I'm not active. Do I regret it? No, I don't regret it, bro. I grew up in the streets with my brothers, and they were my family. I had a very abusive mother, and they were my family. You know, James Tony was a straight gangster. Yes, he was. He was. He was a fool. Huh? My bad, brother. Think there was a misunderstanding, but I agree with you 100% about keeping God in the center and forgiveness being crucial. Thank you, Unadapted. Thank you, brother. And that's why I say, guys, help me to make this podcast popular. Next time, hopefully, I'll be in my house. I have a background. It's going to look real professional. And I want to be the Chicano Joe Rogan. And I'm not making a front about that. And again, I'm not looking to be famous. I want this podcast to be popular. If there's a difference, to me, there's a difference. If you think I'm trying to be famous, no, don't. I don't want that. With fame comes a lot of dangerous stuff, and I don't want that. I want this. I want to be an encouraging podcast. That's why some people are saying, "Hey, why don't you interview these gangsters, these guys?" I want to stay away from all that, bro. I want to talk positive stuff. I want to talk encouraging stuff. And as a Christian, I'm going to talk from the Bible. You know, let me give you an example. I'm not saying he's wrong, but he's not doing the full thing. Joel Osteen. Joel Osteen, the pastor that comes on Sunday, he's ear candy. Have you ever seen him open the Bible? And that's like saying every day you're going to have a steak with papas. Every day. Eventually, you're going to get clogged arteries. Eventually, you're going to gain weight. You're going to get fat. Eventually, those clogged arteries are going to turn into strokes. Eventually, you're going to get sluggish. And you know what? Being a Christian doesn't mean you're not going to have problems. Being a Christian doesn't mean that you're not going to have these bad days. I'm a perfect example. I'm having a bad day today. My best friend who can pretty much dictate my whole day is kind of upset with me. And I love my wife, man. She's everything to me. When she's happy with me and she's encouraging me, man, I can fight Mike Tyson, man. I mean, I can just tackle anything, anywhere. I can, in this 96-degree heat right now, when I get in that truck, it's going to be at least 105, if not more. And I got to struggle just to be there because I know my wife is upset with me. But again, if you don't spar, if you're a boxer and you don't spar somebody hard, how are you going to get better? If you don't have a bad day, how will you know when it's a good day? When it's a good day, how do you know how do you know what's going to define a bad day? And this is why I say, guys, when you have God at the center of your life, it doesn't say if. He says in the Bible, it doesn't say if you have trials. He says when you have trials. So we're going to have trials. And that's where you got to have faith and read your Bible. Reach out to the crossover talents, Stitch Duran, Danny Trejo, Cain Velasquez. Oh, I want to get Cain Velasquez. Diaz brothers, can't do Diaz brothers because they're active fighters. Mario Lopez, I did ask Mario Lopez, but I'm learning more and more, guys. When you're an actor, you have to go through your agent. And if your agent says no, you can't do it. So they're locked up by agents. Emilio had to ask permission, and there's certain things we can't talk about. So God willing, we're just going to talk about boxing and a little bit of his past. But I just want to ask him about his bio. Who's his coolest referee? Hopefully he'll say me. Stitch on the pod would be great. Yes, I'm gonna get a hold of Stitch and Mike Rodriguez, the other cut man, the big tall Chicano. He's a Huda homicide detective. So I'm gonna get at him too. But Stitch, yeah, Stitch lives up north, and that's the problem. I gotta lock him into a day, and then I gotta fly up there or drive up there, and this is why I'm asking for super chats, guys. Please send in those super chats. But going back to Joel Osteen, he's just giving you ear candy. Everything's gonna be all right. Everything, God has a plan for you. No, 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 no. Christians can still die of cancer. Christians can still get in car accidents. Christians can still be murdered. Christians can still be in poverty. God never said when you become a Christian, when you start following me, you're going to have perfect days. He never said that. And Joel Osteen gets on there and tries to give everybody everything's going to be all right. Everybody's going to go to heaven. You don't have to change your ways. You can continue being unfaithful to your wives, your husband, continue drinking, cussing, and don't make a change in your life because God says you're going to heaven, you have a plan. No, no. How do you practice faith when you don't have bad days? Imagine if you have perfect days, what do you even need God for? Somebody said, well, God's a crutch. You're right. He's my crutch. He is. And believe me, guys, everybody has a testimony. I was physically abused, not sexually, physically abused by my mom. And you know what? She even beat my older sister worse than me. But I was in McLaren Hall in El Monte. Remember that? And at 5, 6 years old, to be in McLaren Hall, that is the most scariest thing. I was in county camp. I was in youth authority. I was in prison twice. I got stabbed in prison. And that's only to say, I know what it is to have bad days. I know what and a lot of that was my fault because I got myself, being in gangs and all that. I always wanted to be a professional boxer and I just did not have discipline to get my weight down. So with that said, guys, um, you can't say I don't know. I do know. But there's people out there that's had that, oh, just say you're a Christian, just say ask God in your heart and everything's gonna be fine and dandy. It's just not gonna be like that. You know what I mean? You're gonna have bad days, guys. And that's why you got to go to a Bible teaching church, a church that when you walk out of church, you're going to tell yourself, I got to get closer to God. I got to get closer to God. I got to get right. Are you going to be perfect? No, you're not. It says in the Bible, you'll fall short of the glory of God every day. You know what I mean? And look at me. I called this guy out Friday. I dropped the ball, guys. I shouldn't have done that. You know what I mean? Yes, he disrespected my family. And you know what? When I see him, I'll apologize. But I'm telling you, how do you practice faith if you have perfect days? You know, that's why you have such a good chemistry with Vargas and other fighters because you had to do a lot of fighting of your own life yourself. You understand perseverance and gratitude. Thank you, Unadapted. Thank you. Yeah, I do. I always tell my 7 kids, love your mother. Be grateful you have your mother. I had no mom. I had no dad. I had 7 dads. My mom was married like 5, 6 times and boyfriends in between. Mind you, none of them ever abused me. They just didn't care about me. When I was in sports, football, nobody was in the audience, not even my mom. So, my mom was, and when I got older, my mom was very revengeful. Never take revenge on your children, guys, please. Uh, Having revenge on your child that's ugly. I mean, to this day, all my kids are grown. I kiss them all. I kiss them all still. I still tell them I love them. I've apologized when I know I've done wrong. And don't be afraid to apologize with your kid. And here's another thing. Unattested faith is unreliable faith. You're right, Carrillo. He said it right there. Untested faith is unreliable faith. You're right, bro, and I need it today. But here's another thing that I want to hear what you guys have to think. Who here thinks it's cool to drink with your kids, alcohol, or smoke weed with your kids, or get high with your kids. You know what, bro? In my opinion, you lose respect for your children, and your children lose respect for you. Your children have hundreds of friends. They don't need another friend. They need a father. They need a mother. Now, some of you say, well, my kid, he's cool about it. He never got disrespected. Or I'm not an alcoholic. Okay. I mean, you might not be an alcoholic, but what if your kid turns into alcoholic? You know, I knew some people that do linas with their kid. And then, you know, there's an old saying, a drunk heart speaks the truth. I've seen people, children tell their parents, you effing this, you did effing that, you have, and then the next day when they sober up, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. The damage is done already. And you know what? I don't believe in, I mean, don't get me wrong, my kids clown me and play with me now, but I'm not a drinker anyways, but I would never drink with my children. I'm not a drinker, but if I did, I wouldn't drink with my children. I want my children to know when they come to dad to ask them for advice or encouragement or even just a, a, a listening ear. It's not going to be their friend. It's going to be their father. And I'm going to tell them what's right. Same, and some of these people, they're friends with their kids. And then when their kids turn 17, 18, 25, 30, they cuss them out. And you know what? I thank God my children haven't done that to me. And I'm telling you, my 5 sons, two of them that are just roughnecks. They're always on the edge. So, I mean, but disrespecting me. They've never disrespected their mom. And that's not to say I'm a perfect parent. I'm not a perfect parent. But I draw the line. I'm not your friend. I'm your dad first. And after being your dad, I'm going to be your friend. But I'm your dad first. Brother, great point. I'm in my 40s and I still don't call in front of my parents out of respect. Eddie Garcia, thank you. Thank you. You know what I mean? Super Manuel, perfect white shirt. Thank you, Manuel. But Eddie Garcia, perfect. Eddie Garcia said right here, brother, great point. I'm in my 40s and I still don't drink alcohol in front of my parents out of respect. Robert Garcia, we were talking about his father. Thank you. Thank you, Gonzalez. Thank you. Robert Garcia, Moses Gonzalez, send a super chat. Come on, guys. I got 30 minutes more. Robert Garcia said there, when my dad, Mr. Garcia, walks into the gym, everybody stands up straight. When everybody's drinking and my dad walks in, everybody puts the alcohol away. That's respect, guys. And if you want respect, you got to earn it. And you know what? If you're drinking with your kids now, just stop and just tell them, I love you, mijo. I love you, mija. And I just don't want to have that relationship. Please respect me. They might say, get over it. Just, you got to draw the line, guys. Because again, when that child comes to you for advice, when that child comes to you to just have a company near, how can they come to you when the night before you guys were cussing each other out, telling each other dirty jokes? You can't do that. And there's got to be a love. They have hundreds of friends. Be their father, be their mother, you know? And I just I just think in Eddie Garcia and that's Trip, Robert Garcia said the same thing. There's one man I respect as a father, and that's Ben Lira. Ben Lira, the training coach out of South Amani. When he comes in the room, I feel comfort, but you know, I feel I have much respect for him, and I have all respect for all older people, but he was the closest thing to a father. But he was a gym father. He was the type you don't want to listen, fine, you know. But he would talk to me, never hug me, never show me that kind of love, but it was the closest thing to a father. So yeah, that's my opinion. Send in those super chats, guys. Come on, please. I need that money, guys. But see, this is kind of talk I want. So yeah, that's awesome talk though. But yeah, that's my opinion on drinking with your with your kids. I just don't think that's cool, man. So anyways, Hector Perez, your kids might not like you for a season, but they'll thank you later. Parents first, friends second, most definitely. Orale. Awesome point, Hector. Hector's saying the kids might like you for a season, but they'll thank you later. Parents first, friends second, most definitely. You're right. You're right. My boys, I told them, you can speak your piece, just don't get disrespectful. And I'm not going to get disrespectful with you. I used to tell my sons when they were teenagers, when they screw up, I say, hey, when you have a son or a daughter, are you going to let them screw up? They're like, no. Well, then don't ask me to let my son screw up. And my son Adrian, he was a knucklehead. The boxer, the professional boxer, he's the youngest out of 7 kids. He was a knucklehead, man. He was just always getting in fights, ditching school. But man, he was an excellent athlete, great in football, quarterback, cornerback, um, wide receiver. Grades were always A, B's, and he wouldn't even try. But man, he was always on the edge. I stopped dating a straight up hottie because I heard how disrespectful she was with her mother on the phone. Can't have it. Exactly. Exactly. That's a red flag. If a person talks to their parents with total disrespect, what makes you think they're going to respect you? What makes you think that? And you know what? That goes to dating. I mean, I haven't dated in 26 years, but that's what you want to see. It's all good at first, but you really see their true colors in a heated moment. Pastor Greg Laurie said, hey, I give counseling to marriage, people getting married, but he always asks them first, have you guys had a disagreement before I give you counseling? Oh, no, we never fight. We get along so good. We love each other. He goes, come back to me after you have a disagreement because you don't know how things are going to be. You don't know that person until there's a stressful moment. You're struggling. And me and my wife, we struggled through bills. Uh, thank God we're both healthy, but I have a son that has a tracheostomy. So, what I mean? We've struggled. We've had issues. And I'll be honest, my wife she can get upset very quick, and that's her nature, but she loves her mom. And after my wife will get on my case, usually within a couple hours, she'll walk by and she won't say sorry, but she'll walk by and she'll touch my neck or, you know what I mean? And, you know what I mean? But I love her and send in those super chats, guys. Send in those super chats. I got 20 more minutes, guys. Please send in some super chats, man. Um, you should have been the ref on the Crawford Spence. Thank you, Monte. Hey, Carlo. Thank you, Holmes. I would have done the same thing that ref did. Harvey Dock is a great referee, bro. Yes. And you know what? That's another thing. Some people are saying I don't get the big fights because I'm a low rider. How can I change that? How can I change? I can't change it, bro. My wife teases me and says, I can put you in golf shorts and you'll still look the same way. So you know what? I just gotta trust God and hope those big fights come my way. I've had a few, but I have been all over the world doing fights, and I'm blessed for that. How do they pick the refs out of everyone? The commission of that state will pick the referee. The commission of that state. It's funny you say that because I had 2 fans write me an email said I'm the worst referee because I stopped the fights too early. That's crazy because the executive officer of California, Andy Foster, who hands out the big fights, he told me in front of all the referees, no one can accuse Ray Corona of stopping a fight too early. Part of that told me maybe that's why I'm not getting the mega fights. And part of it told me, I give the fans what they want. But two fans says I stopped fights too early. It's just last night. Everybody, not everybody, a few guys think that was early stoppage. Man, he was beating the hell out of Spence. 8 rounds. Was it 8 rounds or 7 rounds? Mathematically, there's no way he could win. Spence. Mathematically, he needed a knockout on Crawford to win. So why let him take that kind of beating? He clearly was just getting beat down. And it was a perfect stop. Willie M. Frequency. Never, Nevada had been using a few refs from other states. Yes, Tom Taylor, our California referee, did the pit bull fight. Yes, yes. West Side, and you know what? They call me, I'll go. Westside Popeye Saludas. What's up? Hey guys, send in those super chats. Come on, man, kick it off. I got 22 minutes, guys. Send in some super chats. You give the fighters what they want, a chance to prove themselves. They're warriors, and you come from a place where fighting is has no refs, no rules,